Don't know.
In May 2024, Como FC returned to Serie A after 21 years in exile.
We did it! Come on!
After decades of despair, financial turmoil and a spell in Serie D, the club is back on the biggest stage. Now backed by the Jarum Group and with a star quality on and off the pitch, Como and its supporters are looking to the future, but the hard work is only just beginning. We're here to speak to those involved to find out what's next for Italy's most glamorous football team. Osh, good to see you. How's it going?
Hi Liam, buongiorno, come stai?
Your Italian's pretty good, is it?
Wow, piano piano, I'm learning slowly.
Well, look, I love coming here. It's one of the, to me anyway, one of the most beautiful stadiums in the world, and it's your new home.
Yeah, I mean, it's very iconic, obviously, when you come here right on the lakeside.
For you, the project here, I guess it's different from being at a place like Crystal Palace, but to be here now, head of development, how has that role evolved as you progress through the leagues?
Yeah, so, obviously when I arrived here almost 12 months ago now, the remit, with Cesc was, can we get promoted to Serie A? So we managed to do that. Fantastic for the club to be back in Serie A after 21 years and the roller coaster ride the club has been on. And then since the summer, my role has changed to be planning for the next 10 years.
There's not many football clubs in the world, I don't think, who have a boardroom, lunchroom, trophy cabinet with, what's this, Coppa Italia, Serie C. It's a beautiful place.
Yes, it is, yeah. The work that went on during the summer, because of course, yes, we gained promotion to Serie A, but there was a lot of work that had to be done quickly. Yeah. In order to be accepted into Serie A in terms of, hosting our games here at the stadium and meeting the criteria. So, there was a lot of work that went on over the summer into the international break in September.
And the man at the helm, you've worked with some incredible players turned coaches, Arteta, Vieira, now Cesc here, but despite everything he achieved on the pitch, he's a relatively inexperienced manager, you could say. How big is his task to keep this club in Serie A?
Yeah, it's a big task, of course, because we're competing with teams that have been in Serie A for many years. And when you've been in Serie A and competing for 10 years, let's say, all those transfer windows that you have in order to supplement and strengthen the squad, enable you to build. We need a few windows in order to support Cesc in making sure that we can have a squad that can really compete. We're working well, we're performing well. We probably don't have the points to reflect the performances, but it's part of the process. But certainly performances have been so encouraging that it makes everybody, from the players to the fans, everybody believe that we have the capabilities to make sure we stay in Serie A in this first season.
Now the team play their home games in the town of Como, but they train 30 minutes away in a place called Mozzate. So I'm heading there to speak to a few key people in this project, including Cesc Fabregas. Everyone loved watching you as a player, such a beautiful player on the pitch. How would you describe your philosophy as a manager?
The philosophy is a team that wants to dominate, that wants to create chances, try to defend as high as possible at the pitch, to have a good reaggression after we lose the ball. And in many moments this year we've shown that. We've competed very well. It's true that the results haven't been how we wanted them to be, but the performances are there. Nowadays in football, it doesn't matter if you play one way or another. If you win, everyone is happy. Everyone thinks that winning and playing bad sometimes it's great, and sometimes you play really well, you lose, and they say, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing," etc. So this is the world where we live. So we need to be very, very stable, in our minds. We know exactly what we're trying to do, how we're trying to build it, and especially when bad results or bad runs happen, not to get too much out of what you're trying to build, because I believe in consistency.
We've seen in the training ground there's cranes going on. The stadium I've been at this week, so much is happening, but it's an exciting project to be part of.
It is, especially at my age. I mean, almost done, but still, to get that feeling that you are part of a new project, an ambitious one, that wants to grow, quickly, and that has brought so many important people to give us a hand. It's always nice. We hope for a great season, and even more next year.
The ambitions of the club it's the first year, so the goal is stays in Serie A, but always looking for bigger achievements and bigger goals, and yes, as explained me from the beginning, that the goal is to be in Europe.
And on the manager, someone you would have known as a player, how has he changed in gaffer mode?
I wouldn't expect that, to be honest, 10 years ago. But he's someone that is really clever. He's doing what he did as a player, but also surrounded by a great staff that is helping in a major way. So credit to him. Has become a better person probably. It's someone that has been in football for so long and has had a tremendous career. So it's only the beginning for him, but I think the future is going to be bright.
On the philosophy, what is Cesc instructions? What are you getting?
I think it's a little bit also Cesc, the way he plays, a little bit more direct. It's not like maybe in Spain sometimes you have a lot of the ball without going forward, and Cesc also like to have the ball, but then attacking and having a lot of chances, and that's what we are doing. We still a lot to improve, but I think we're doing well. We're dominating most of the games. I really believe this is the right direction, and we are doing the things really well.
We have a very nice group of people working, from Mirwan Suarso, who is at the head of everything, the people at data, people at recruitment, Charlie Ludi as a sporting director, and then me as a coach, and Ocean Roberts as well helps and gives us a nice hand on what we need. So we are a very small circle, but with clear ideas of everything, and that's the most important. Identify what we need within the squad, what type of profiles we want for this position or that position. Then there will always be moments or players that, thanks to me being an ex-player recently and having played with a lot of top players, I can work also, or try to work some of my magic to bring players here. My objective and my dream is that in a way, in 2 or 3 years, we have a very, very young squad full of good players, good potential players, because I love working with them, and I think we can achieve it the right way.
Well, it's match day here in Como, so I'm going to go speak to some fans before the game to see what they've made of their team's first season in Serie A. How does it feel to be back in Serie A?
It's still something that's really amazing, because I had the yearly subscription also when we were in Serie D, which is the 4th division.
Wow.
And so when we were struggling, I was there. It was totally different. Not a lot of people to the stadium. And now we go up, 3rd division, 2nd division, Serie A. It's unbelievable to be here.
Do the fans believe that the ownership group now are here to stay and they'll keep developing a football club?
I think so. I think that they have, a clear idea to what to do with our football club. Since they came here in the last years, they did a lot of great things for the team, for their society, but also for the city.
They not bought in 4 division great name players. They built the training ground, which was not there. They did things for the community. They helped little shops, old cinema that were closing. And so we see that also that what they say, they did.
What do you think about having Cesc Fabregas as your manager?
Obviously, all the city was excited, all the Como fans, but also not the fans. I mean, all the Como citizens were excited, and he changed our way of thinking.
When they told that Fabregas was coming as player and then as manager, for me it was something, I don't know, April's Fool. It's impossible. I see that we are more aggressive. We want to keep the ball, playing more beautiful to see football. It's not easy then when you face competition of the really defensive team like Italian team. It's not easy to adapt and to also win games, because generally we go and do well for 60 minutes. Then in the last minutes the other do something and they can equalize. So it's not easy to win with that kind of philosophy, but I like it.
Now, if you think Lake Como, you think of Hollywood names. George Clooney lives down the lake, but Como 1907 has been attracting a few famous faces this season too.
There will be hard moments. I knew that this was going to happen, especially in a club where 21 years they haven't been in Serie A, and where normally still this year we shouldn't be in Serie A, as the process last year we were not favorites to get the promotion. It's very, very important for me to keep strong, you know, to keep creating the culture.
Cesc has done a fantastic job already, but we're only seeing glimpses of what I've seen over, you know, the 9-10 months we've been together. We're fortunate to have him at this stage. We want to keep him for a very long time, because for sure he will be one of the brightest coaches in the game.
Looking forward 5 years' time, what's the ambitions for yourself and this club?
To keep growing in terms of mentality. Since the day one that I arrived here, there were some vibes, some feelings that I didn't really like, in terms of being too complacent, being a little bit lazy, not to have this culture, you know, of working, these high standards that a professional club, top club should have. And these have been my main concern and my main objective, you know, to keep growing, to change everyone's mentality, to be able to come here early, to work, to leave a little bit later. You know, some players that were coming 5 minutes after the training had started, nobody really said anything. They finished the training, you didn't even come out, and you see 2 players already leaving home. All of these little details, these little things, I think we've grown a lot. Now I see a proper structure, players coming here and working as proper professionals, and I think slowly we need to start bringing all of these attributes, all of these things, you know, into the club and into the players' mindset, because this is at the end of the day, the day-to-day working here is what you build all the structure from, and then take it onto the pitch to keep growing.